Black Clover Chapter 326, Asta's new power and new devil union transformation. I explain Asta's new form and his fifth horn, although this transformation looks like a half devil union mode. Most likely because Asta may have already exceeded his 5-minute limit and therefore can no longer use his full power. It could still be that Asta has actually reached the next level of devil union mode, but because he lacks the necessary energy, this new form looks like it is something of a pre-stage of the Black Guardian, but in reality it is just a weaker version of the next level, precisely because Asta is completely exhausted and injured. Also, only a small percentage of the people who watch our videos are actually subscribed, so if you end up liking this video, consider subscribing. Please enjoy this video, let's go! As we predicted in our last chapter review, Asta got a new power up in this chapter. But to be honest, we predicted the reason wrong. It was pretty obvious that Asta will get a power up after we saw the way Lucifero talked about Asta, that he is the easiest to kill, and that Yuno chose Yami instead of Asta. So as usual, the new Black Clover Chapter 326 starts right where the last Black Clover Chapter ended, with Yuno breaking his sword trying to attack Lucifero. The whole plan was to decide whether Yami or Asta should deliver the final blow, and Yuno ultimately chose Yami. However, instead of just teleporting Yami, both Yami and Nacht suddenly appear right behind Lucifero, while using a combination spell called Doppelganger, which seems to have the effect of creating a second Dark Shadow World Tree Katana. Both then try to land a direct hit, the perfect surprise attack. Adramalek is still chilling, but this time he actually looks quite surprised and impressed by the humans and their effort. I mean, they have literally been fighting the Devil King for a while, and he just can't beat them. Even if Lucifero is only 50% manifested, at least if you go by the percentage that's currently confirmed, it is still pretty impressive when you think about it, and I think Adramalek realized that as well. We haven't mentioned Adramalek much in the last reviews, even though he's been popping up here and there, always just watching. We just felt that it would be too repetitive to always mention the same thing, but this time his emotional expression somehow gives me a different feeling. And also Tabata drew him bigger than usual to probably put the focus on his facial expression. It feels a bit like when Megicula was so impressed with the humans, and so Adramalek seems to have developed some sort of interest in the humans as well. As always, this interest in humans could come from the devil's origin in demonology, as they were originally fallen angels who didn't understand what was so special about humans, and with that an interest in humanity developed. Not necessarily a positive one, but an interest nonetheless. But based on demonology, he should be evil, in fact one of, if not the most evil devil of all time. Not in terms of strength, but just his malice, which is described as even more evil than Lucifero himself. But in Black Clover he makes a slightly different impression so far, from the moment he first showed up and told everyone to leave and then didn't even hurt them when they actually left, to the moment when he refused to help Lucifero, even mocked him. And now it looks like he really has an interest in humans, and in general he doesn't look evil at all. He reminds me a bit of Liebe. But after all, he is a devil, and while not all devils are evil just because they are a devil, he is a supreme devil for a reason, and we can't ignore his characteristics and demonology. Still, I wouldn't ignore the fact that Adramalek might surprise us in the future and do something that no one would expect. Whether he is evil, good, or simply pursuing his own agenda, Adramalek certainly seems to have something in mind, and is not just watching the fight out of boredom. And then we see how Lucifero was able to stop Nacht and Yami from their surprise attack by doing something I didn't quite understand, at least from the leaks. To be honest though, the quality of the leak is pretty good, but it looks like Lucifero grew 2 arms on his back and then stabbed Nacht and Yami with them. It could be that his wings temporarily turned into arms, since I can't see his 2 upper wings anymore. But anyway, now that Yuno, Yami and Nacht are out of the way, the last remaining obstacle is Asta, who's Lucifero's main target, as he is the most dangerous and yet the easiest to kill. So Lucifero goes on the attack and strikes directly in Asta's direction. But before he can strike, Asta and Liebe end up in some kind of timeless shared mind realm, where they see Liebe's and Licita's past. Eventually, Asta learns the truth about his mother, his foster brother, and the devil Lucifero who killed Lycita. Unfortunately, Asta doesn't quite seem to realize that this is his mother, since he referred to Lycita as Liebe's mother. But maybe this is just a mistake in the fan translation. Later, Asta and Liebe refer to each other as brothers, suggesting that Asta knows Lycita is also his mother. Let's just wait for the official release. And so we see all these scenes from 17 years ago when Liebe arrived on the surface, became Lycita's foster son, and then of course Lucifero's visit. Asta finally understands the backstory of his devil and the origin of his grimoire. Well, not quite yet. The grimoire itself still holds many secrets, and in fact we only know maybe 50%. Most of you know our theory about the 5-leaf clover grimoire. Here just an extreme speedrun version. Somehow the 5-leaf clover grimoire ended up with Lycita, who for some reason knew the meaning of a 5-leaf grimoire for devils. This happened just before she gave away her son Asta, for whom she may not be as dangerous as we all suspected. We all saw what Lycita did to the snake, but then she was able to carry Asta from her house to Hage without harming him. So there could be another reason why she gave Asta away. Could it have something to do with how and why she received the 5-leaf clover grimoire? Or did she receive the 5-leaf clover grimoire because she was supposed to take care of Liebe, which is why she gave Asta away? Because maybe she knew that one day Lucifero would come and she would have to seal Liebe away. And then of course Asta wouldn't be safe with her. The person who gave Lycita this 5-leaf clover grimoire might have told her everything, so Lycita was prepared and always had the 5-leaf clover grimoire with her. This would mean of course that Lycita must have some kind of deeper connection to this person and to Liebe, which is the only possible explanation for why she would give Asta away to give Liebe at least a year of love in return, as if she were really his mother. And the fact that Lycita knew that not all devils are evil just because they are a devil suggests that she must have met a devil before. So maybe this person who gave her the grimoire and told her everything about devils, 5 leaves and Lucifero was a devil. Who this devil could be and what connection this devil has to Liebe and Lycita, maybe even Asta, could be the biggest mystery in Black Clover if we put everything together correctly. This person could have been the one who hid the grimoire in the grimoire tower so that Asta will get it one day and meet his brother Liebe. But anyway, back to the Black Clover chapter 326. Liebe blames y'all who didn't subscribe to our channel. It's free and you can always unsubscribe. So Liebe blames himself for being weak, for being thrown out of the underworld, for having no magic, and so on. Basically blaming himself for what happened to his mother Lycita. Asta makes it clear that he supports Liebe and will always be by his side. And so they both stand up together to defeat Lucifero once and for all. And then at the end of the chapter we see Asta with his new transformation. The reason we call it a new transformation is simply because there are many visual aspects that are different from his normal Devil Union mode Black Guardian. Most noticeable is the huge new horn that Asta has now grown on his forehead, where his headband used to be, making him look like a unicorn. With this new horn, Asta now has a total of 5 horns. But again, we will have to wait for the official release to understand exactly how and where the horn is placed. And if it's really just one new horn or maybe even 2, the leaks don't show it very well. We have often speculated about why some devils have 2 horns and others have 4. It could be a sign of strength, which is why supreme devils have 4 horns, and why Liebe himself could be a supreme devil, at least worthy of being a supreme devil if those are his horns. The 2 extra horns may also belong to Asta himself or to his second devil secretly involved, because Asta also has extra devil marks but no extra devil wings, which makes the involvement of a second devil less likely. Now Asta has suddenly grown a 5th horn, and thus everything that was speculated about the number of horns so far might have become irrelevant. But maybe the 5th horn is something completely new that has nothing to do with the other 2 additional horns. In general, for devils, extra horns are a sign of strength. Every time characters grew a new horn, they became stronger, and so this could be the next level of a devil union. But except for the 5th horn, everything else actually speaks for a weaker version of the Black Guardian. Asta has lost his star eyes, his Black Guardian armor does not completely cover his body. He normally has 2 devil lines on each side of his face, now only 1. And he no longer has the sharp teeth of a devil. Besides the horn, the only thing that has changed that could not be associated with a weaker version is the shape of his chest symbol. It no longer looks like some kind of star, but more like a circle. I'm not talking about the symbol in the middle that indicates how much time Asta has left to use the Devil Union mode, but the shape surrounding the timer. There's no reason to believe that this symbol has changed because it is a weaker version of the Black Guardian. Maybe it symbolizes a weaker version, maybe not. Speaking of the timer, we can't really see how many minutes Asta has left. It could be that his time has already reached the 5-minute mark, and Asta's now over time. Tabata definitely intentionally placed that speech bubble right where we would normally see how many minutes Asta has left. The fact that Asta may now already be in Devil Union mode for longer than 5 minutes could be the reason for these new changes, at least when it comes to those that speak for a weaker version. But as I said, a 5th horn is actually a sign that Asta has gotten stronger, but maybe he doesn't have enough energy left to show the full new transformation. And this is just a taste of what we will see in 30 minutes, when Asta is ready to fully transform again. That is of course if he's also healed. The only information we can glean from the last double spread is that Asta was somehow able to stop Lucifero's attack. We know that Lucifero definitely tried to hit Asta with a powerful blow, but it's also possible that Lucifero stopped because he noticed a change in Asta and Liebe. So he knew that if he hit, the sword would most likely cut his fist in half. We see Lucifero lose his calm expression and now has the same expression he had in his first manifestation when he fought Asta. If Tabata is really trying to say something with the different facial expressions, it seems like Lucifero may have realized something about Asta, possibly that he is now more dangerous than ever. Maybe Asta has become what Lucifero feared so much, which is why he wanted to defeat Asta as soon as possible. But as I said, it seems that Asta and Liebe don't have the energy to fully show the new transformation. Whatever the meaning of this transformation is, we will definitely find out in the next chapter of Black Clover, and we all know it's going to be crazy. Let me know in the comments what you think of the new Black Clover chapter 326. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and if you are new, feel free to subscribe with the notification bell activated for weekly Black Clover manga theories and reviews. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye.